Give me a D and a G. It's the Dawg and Gus Show. It's the Dawg and Gus Show.
Hey, Dawg, your beard's looking flickin' great, my man.
Thanks, Gus. I've been using the Bush Beard Wash.
The what now?
At Bush Beard, they know that every man with a beard is a unique beardo. And that's why they offer a wide range of products to cater to every beard's needs. Whether you have a long and luscious mane or prefer to keep it short and sharp, their products will help you achieve that perfect look.
From the nourishing beard oil and balm to the refreshing beard wash, their products are made with all-natural local ingredients to keep that beard healthy, soft, and lustrous. The beard comb and brush are designed to detangle and shape your beard, making sure you always look your best.
At Bush Beard, they're dedicated to providing the best possible grooming experience for all the beardos out there. So why settle for an average beard when you can have a glorious, well-groomed one? Try Bush Beard products today and unleash the full potential of your beard.
Be sure to use Dawg and Gus 10 and get 10% off your order.
Bush Beard, the small town brand with the big old Canadian heart. Welcome to the Dawg and Gus Show.
Soon to be on Be Kind Radio.
Right on. I like the sound of that.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Canada Day, eh?
Yes, sir.
That's when it starts.
That's what we're certain for, yep.
We might even play this group that we are about to interview.
Oh, absolutely we will.
Who do we got?
We got Aurora's Reef.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how are you guys?
We're good.
Fine and dandy.
Yeah. No complaints. A little rain, whatever. That is what it is. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having us.
So, a local reggae band.
Ottawa's reggae band.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Yeah, we love reggae. So, where did that passion for that type of music come from as a band?
I guess I brought the flavor to the band, the reggae sound. My grandfather played a lot of reggae music in the house growing up, so that was what I got into when I was learning guitar. Got myself into that niche and then couldn't get myself out of it. So here we are.
And there's no reason why you should.
Yeah, that's it.
Should get out of that niche to stay in it.
Okay.
I'm sorry I had to explain myself again.
Well, I'm pretty dumb.
So but you're good looking, though.
Yeah, I got that going for me.
Yeah.
That's cool. Nice.
And funny you say that. I'm going to go right into it. Peter Tosh or Bob Marley?
Ooh.
Peter Tosh on everything recorded on the Wailers. By far, he did a better job. So.
Wow, that was very quick.
Yeah.
Oh.
No question. Like if you're talking overall career, like Marley's gonna be taking home the flowers, but Peter Tosh for objective music ability. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, he's certainly talented. I love Peter Tosh.
Never met him.
It would be cool if we ever had him on the show, eh?
Yeah.
Post. Is he still? Yeah.
No, I believe
he's gone.
I believe he's passed, like Bob.
He
Yeah.
passed a while, quite a while.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm just
he's just playing.
Yeah. So did your grandfather inspire you to do music? Is that kind of where that came from?
Yeah, he wasn't a musician himself, but definitely hearing old roots reggae on vinyl, I was immediately drawn to it. Yeah.
There were also some, like, we're from Chatham, Ontario, and there were some Chatham ska bands that we were inspired by. There's Street Pharmacy, they're from Welland. We were really inspired by them. But it wasn't until we moved to Ottawa that we kind of were able to actualize the dream of having a reggae band ourselves.
Cool. And what prompted the move here?
I went to school here. I went to Carleton, and we just ended up liking it a lot. We found our bandmates here, so we've been staying. We're planning to stay.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for Ottawa. Too bad Chatham.
Yeah.
Well, you could always do like a revival tour there or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Recently, they loved us. They were very receptive.
Yeah, it was like a
Nice.
high school reunion, kind of.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
So what's your creative process like? How does it, how do you guys gel? Like, do you just jam and then something comes from it? Or do you just sort of decide what to play?
Yeah, we start with the jam. We get some chords going. Then I take over the creative process for a couple nights, jotting down some lyrics and maybe a few curveballs to throw the band. Then we bring it back to the jam. Brass section lays down their stuff. and then usually around there the song's taking its final form and then tweaking.
Yeah, Duncan's the writer for sure. He's the one that kind of gets inspired to write. Like, I feel like he's a very thematic writer. His songs like are about, you know, moments in history or like his personal experiences, which is like more typical, but he brings the lyrics to us, and then everyone kind of stays in their own lane with their own instrument, and we figure out what works best for the song from there.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Duncan, do you ever have to say, like when you've got a song, you've got an idea or a concept in your head, and then you got your, like you say, your brass section, they kind of play what they think it is, and you go, no, that's not what I'm thinking. You ever have a moment like that?
No, they're pretty professional dudes. They do their homework. When I tell them what the inspiration is and like what it should sound like overall, they do their homework, they come back. They're very professional dudes. They always give me something that's good with their own flavor added in. But no, we got some good guys with us.
Yeah, they're chill about it and they're innovative. Like sometimes he has a specific line in his head that he asks them to parrot, and they're happy to do that.
It's only happened one time.
Yeah. Other than that, you know, we trust each other with what we're writing musically.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's always good. Like if you kind of, it's nice to have like a creative process that sort of has everybody involved in some way, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You feel more passionate about the song or whatever, right?
Yeah.
What is a message you'd give to your fans?
Oh dear. I feel like that's more of an album 2 thing. You know, first I gotta capture some attention, putting out album 1, and then it's time to impart some wisdom. And
I would say so far, you know, for the people that have already come out to our shows, like we always try to be really thankful. We know that it's not always easy to spend money on a ticket and then spend money on transportation and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. We appreciate people, you know, taking time out of their schedules to come and see us. And so far the reception has been really good. Like people say really kind things to us. We just recorded a video like on our porch the other day, and one of our neighbors came up and was talking about how much he liked the music. And that's always really cool when people come up to you and say that, like, you know, they felt what you were putting out there.
Yeah. And right now I'm willing to admit I'm still a student in this music thing, and I'll soon be ready to share the wisdom with the masses. But for now, I'm still, training wheels are still on.
Nice.
Training wheels. Yeah. I lost my train of thought.
You need your training wheels.
Yeah, I need my training wheels back up. How long have you guys been together as a band, and how many members when you guys are all together?
It's been a slow thing. Like Aurora's Reef was originally a band called Mustard, and then we got a cease and desist from DJ Mustard and had to change the name. Aurora's Reef, this iteration has existed for about 2 years. Started with the drummer.
Lalito Flores.
Yeah. And then we got our brass guys both at once. And so it's been about 2 years now. We've been working as a 5-piece, and we just acquired a keyboardist about a year ago. Just the last 2 years.
And except for our keys player, we all met on like Ottawa music Facebook groups. Like we're totally a Facebook made band, which is kind of funny. We met our keys player at a show we played on Avant-Garde last year, and he's really cool. Clifford's guys, and Matt and James are brass guys. Everyone seems to know them. They're in like so many bands, and they got us into busking and Byword, which was so cool.
That was a game changer for us. Yeah.
And we just played in Kingston with a trumpet player for the first time. His name's Oscar, and that was really cool. So we're still adding members as it goes, but our full lineup right now is 6.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I was going to ask about busking. What do you like about busking, and why do you do it?
For me, it's the immediate the one-to-one relation with reception on the crowd. It's like somebody's gonna make a foul noise if they're not enjoying the sound, or make a face straight to me. Like that wouldn't happen on stage usually. So just being able to hear everything that's happening, having a monetary thumbs up of we're liking this song, that's nice. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely reception with the crowd.
There's so many good things about it. Like, you get so tight as a band.
Yeah.
You learn what songs work well with different crowds. It's really good for social media engagement. Like, a lot of people follow us on Instagram from seeing us busking. Sometimes when we're busking, like, you can make more money than you would selling tickets at a show, which, I mean, kind of sucks, but we're exhausting the resources that are available to us, you know? And when we went on tour last year, we used all our busking money to pay for gas. We toured from Windsor, Ontario to Montreal, Quebec, and it was totally paid for by music. You know,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have been able to do that without busking at all.
And busking in Ottawa specifically, everybody's coming from all around the world, and we're reaching a much wider audience that way, like no other place in Canada, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
been
big. Yeah.
so good for us.
Yeah, that's cool. I was going to ask also, what's your favorite song to perform while you're busking, or at all? What's your favorite song?
Hotel California is pretty
Yeah.
funny. We go through the chords like the normal way, and then we do it reggae, and then it seems to throw people off for a bit. And then once we get to the lyrics, people are like, oh, that's what they're doing. We like to give the old rock songs the reggae facelift, and
Yeah.
so songs like that, Hotel California.
We do a cool like medley of Is This Love, I'm Waiting in Vain. People like that one a lot. One of our original Sarsaparilla usually gets really good reception, which is cool. People really like that one. They'll like record it and ask us where they can listen after, and hopefully someday soon we'll be able to give them like a Spotify link that they can actually access. But
Well, you have to do some more busking so you can make money to get them recorded.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In that vein, is there a song, like I know a lot of people cover songs, is there any song that you think in your minds, the two of you, that should never be covered?
Like, are we talking strictly reggae music, or
No,
just
music in general.
Open forum.
Yeah.
I think never say never, but covering the Beatles is always dangerous territory, I guess. It would have to be a really good cover for it to be worthy
I
of
think
listening to,
some Beatles is a good one.
Yeah. But I think, lots of people can reinterpret songs in cool ways. I like a lot of covers, so I'm not a cover hater.
Better not be, I guess. If you're firing up,
You're firing up Hotel California. You really can't be.
That's definitely on the list. Like,
have you guys ever listened to Dub Side of the Moon, which is like the Dark Side of the Moon, but a reggae version?
I have.
No?
no, but we're big fans of the good, the bad, and the dubby.
Oh,
Nice.
I like that.
Well, maybe you should definitely check out Dub Side of the Moon, because it's like a
We will.
very cool version of Dark Side of the Moon, which is a very classic album.
Yeah.
But it's super funky. It's very cool.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, please do.
I'll throw another one your way that maybe you've never heard of either. Back in I think it was late 80s, early 90s, Dred Zeppelin. Seriously, it's like a reggae / cover of Zeppelin tunes.
Cool.
I've been trying to find an excuse to slip some more metal into my set lists.
There you go.
Maybe there it is.
Zeppelin metal.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
Original OG.
Yeah, true that.
There's quite a few of our sets with War Pigs.
Yeah.
I do
Ooh.
Very good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
With
I like
a reggae flair?
No.
No,
just
as is, yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice.
I'm down with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Which famous musicians do you admire?
Well, I guess Mr. Marley, of course. Peter Tosh, Bunny Wailer. Yeah. Everyone's dead now. But,
Yeah. All my favorites are dead.
Yeah, but the legacy lives on. The legacy lives on.
It's like, what's that movie there? I see dead people. I listen to dead people.
Sixth Sense?
7 cents.
No, it's Sixth Sense.
6 cents. I have 7.
You got 7 senses, yeah.
Yeah, I just like overcompensate.
What's the seventh? This is
I
a
have
good
no
question.
idea. I'm just making stuff up.
Shit, man. Talk to dead people, but you listen to dead people.
I
too?
listen
Is that
to
the
dead
seventh
people.
one?
Yeah, I maybe. Yeah.
Sounds
Go on. Go on.
Do go on.
Do go on. Moving on.
I look up to like a lot of female artists. I mean, I don't come from a reggae background like Duncan, but I grew up like, I love Joan Jett. I
Yes.
love I love the band Hole. I love the Runaways, Janis Joplin. I'm really inspired by like female artists.
Strong female singers.
Yeah.
Love Joan Jett.
Me too.
You're the other one.
I'm the other
You're
one.
Pat.
I'm the other one from the 80s.
You're Pat.
Yeah, Pat Benatar.
Okay.
Yeah. She's my fave.
That's fair.
But Joan was good, but when she was in the Runaways, that was a solid female group. That's a
Good movie too. They've done a movie about it. It's
Yeah.
actually
So
really
good.
good. Yeah.
Mhm.
I have to ask, who did the cartoon you guys did for your show coming up at Irene's?
That
With
was
the sheep.
Unsociably High.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah. That was
Oh, that-
Unsociably High. Yeah, that we're playing with.
Okay, cool. Because I showed it to Gus and we just had a chuckle over it. It was pretty. I love that. Was just
Need a
like
haircut. That was a good.
Yeah, I need a haircut.
Laughing
Yeah,
my ass off.
yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That was so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
It was very clever. It
Yeah.
was very well done.
Yeah. it was-
And you got to do that. You gotta kind of fuck around with it a little bit, right? Like you got to kind of
Mhm.
play a little bit. What's the best advice you've been given?
Our brass section, like telling us to busk, was huge advice and
Mhm.
definitely changed like our trajectory as a band, I think.
And I think also the brass section period. Like somebody told
Yeah.
us, like I was looking for a guitarist at the time. It was around when we were moving from Chatham to Ottawa. And then somebody said, F the guitarist, get a brass section. And I really gave it a thought. I'm like, no, that would be way better. That'd be more rootsy and brought us into the genre that we're in now. And it would have gone a very different route, more rock,
Mhm.
if I didn't take that advice. So probably to get the brass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I love a good brass section, eh?
It's
Oh, yeah.
just to try and do visualize War Pigs with a brass section,
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. Like it just it's something that's never been done, and it's fun to see, not like young people, but like people like people that are in their 20s, like War Pigs, and they're listening to the Beatles, and it's like it just makes me feel happy about stuff.
Yeah, it means we're all in the right direction.
You guys are going in the right way. The right way.
Just a quick question about Bob Marley sang a lot of politically charged music. So did Peter Tosh, and reggae really kind of comes from that. When you write, do you take that into consideration, or is it just when you're just free flowing about what you're writing and thinking about different things?
Yeah, we're writing about the same things. I'm a descendant of the Underground Railroad and believe in many of the repatriatory African things that they believed in. So we're writing about the same things. I do have some political songs. There are some that are just messing around, having fun. But you can hear the difference right away. If it's the dark rootsy stuff that's making you give your stank face, I'm probably writing about some political stuff. If you listen to the ska stuff, then we're probably talking about drinking and burning spliffs.
There you go.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, like
You need that balance.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. That's kind of the great segue, because I wanted to talk about ska versus reggae.
Okay.
Talk to us about it.
I'm like, do you need the lowdown on this genre, or do you want like the cultural differences?
Whatever you feel like talking to us
I
about.
like cultural. Let's go cultural.
Okay. There's obviously in ska, there's the British invasion ska, the one most people are familiar with, the happier sounding ska, and then there's the old school Jamaican ska, which predates reggae music. Most people don't realize. And then reggae music came after ska when people wanted to mellow out instead of dance music all the time. So there's cultural different cultures with each one. Reggae is always more chill, and ska is more of a party music. I appreciate both equally, and I think they have their places, and they're just cousins in the same game after all.
Yeah, and British ska definitely has way more of a punk vibe to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ska bands in Ottawa that are so good. Like we just played with the Oscillators. They were really cool. we're definitely like a reggae band that plays some ska songs. You know, we dabble, but at the end of the day, our home is reggae. But we still love ska. I mean, there's an audience for ska. Like, people really love to listen to it, which is cool.
And technically, because we play both, we count as rock steady.
Yeah.
Because it's the bridge in between ska and reggae. When you're still kind of sounds like ska, but equally like reggae. So yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
How do you feel about the internet and how it's impacted the music industry?
Not good. Yeah, I don't know. It's like we're not playing the same game as musicians in the 70s were playing. It's not as easy as just getting noticed and getting signed anymore. The record deals aren't worth it, and just, you know, the currency that is money and streaming music has completely ruined the musical economy. So it's a completely different game. I'm still getting my bearings in it, trying to find out where I fit with my ethics and made up, you know, my anarchy towards copyright, you know, brain versus actually making money in the music industry, you know, finding a place in that, finding the happy medium. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's always obstacles, like no matter what point in time you wanted to pursue music, there's always going to be obstacles between you and success. But I don't know, we just like try a bunch of different things all the time. We try to post as often as we can. Sometimes we get good engagement, sometimes we don't. I try to learn the things that make it so that you get more engagement. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like, it's a tool for us and it helps us sometimes, you know. But it is like, you know, a whole Goliath to deal with.
Yeah.
That we haven't really figured out yet. But I guess when we get to releasing music, which hopefully will be soon, like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And it's just important for us to get outreach right now. And so you know, social media is the way that we can do that.
Totally. And it's not just you go make music. Now you got to make content and do all of the accoutrement when it comes to being an artist, right? So you got to get seen in different ways.
Yeah.
Busking is a good way to get seen and get following, which is great.
Totally.
Plus you're playing music that you enjoy and
Yeah.
doing what you love, whereas sometimes social media isn't what we love. We just have to do it, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, it's part of it, right? It's not the funnest part for some people, and for others, it's okay.
Yeah. A necessary evil.
That's right.
Yeah, but I know, like, if we talk to 100 musicians, 99 and a half of them are going to tell us they'd rather be out doing the busking like you guys, and just have somebody videotape it. It's like, hey man, you got to take a look at this. This is awesome. And it kind of just, you know, it gains a life of its own, and away it goes. Then you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, no, because that's just, it's trending on us. And,
Yeah.
you know, the next thing you know, you're playing, you know, bigger venues and talking to Dawg and Gus.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'm sure this is a big highlight.
Yeah, it's the pinnacle of their lives right now, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, this is only my second time getting interviewed. I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Wow.
Wow.
We thank you. Did you have a question there, or did you?
No, I just felt like saying that. So you go ahead and ask a question.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Sounds
Yeah.
lovely. What's the most trouble you've been into?
Oh.
I can say the without incriminating myself, the closest trouble we've almost gotten into as a band, a collective. We were in. We were in the GTA.
We were in Welland playing a show with Street Pharmacy.
Okay, yeah. So we were, the whole band's coming over to somebody's house to crash. They say, come around back and enter through the back door. It was an apartment complex. From the front of the place, it looked like the ground level apartment was the number that we were supposed to be at. We went around back, entered this place, and I'm like, they really didn't clean up before we came over. This is kind of gross in here. Had a nasty smell in the air, and then we realized that we were in the wrong apartment.
We walked through the whole house.
Yeah.
Walked through someone else's entire house, almost opened their bedroom door. Yeah.
So I didn't get in trouble for it, but definitely the most handcuff-worthy thing that we've gotten ourselves into.
Yeah. I guess another time would have been like the cease and desist when we were under Mustard.
Yeah.
That we got a cease and desist from DJ Mustard because he wanted to drop the DJ and he didn't want us to have that name.
Yeah.
And so
And I'm still sour about it.
yeah.
Yeah. Mustard's a
But
great
Aurora's
name, actually.
pretty though.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Mustard, Aurora,
Aurora Reef is, I don't know, has more style.
Yep.
So Mustard's a little bit more like.
and it's kind of more of a, I don't really associate reggae music and mustard.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Aurora Reef kind of gives me that kind of like that island kind of vibe, right?
It's
So
true. Yeah. Very much so.
more of a rock band, reggae influence, but
There you go.
real deal.
Yeah, I'm down with that for sure.
Yeah. It's Dawg and Gus approved.
Good.
Oh,
Good to
why do you
hear.
keep
You
looking
may
at
go
me?
on.
Why do you keep looking at me?
I don't know.
You're like, because I'm cringing over here. Like,
You're not sure what I'm going to say
Dawg and
next.
Gus approved.
Dawg and Gus approved.
Okay,
Shut up.
stop shouting at Dawg and Gus. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
gotcha.
I'm just kidding. It's all good.
When's the you got the show at Irene's? Is that the next show coming up?
In Ottawa, that is our next show, June 27th at Irene's. On Saturday, we're playing at the Drum Taberna in Toronto.
Nice.
Hoping we don't get rained out because it is an outdoor show.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we have Toronto and then Ottawa. We have some more out of town shows next month too. But
Sweet.
yeah,
Getting some action in the summer, which is nice.
yeah, it's the best time of the year.
And Lord knows it hasn't been busking
I
times
know.
lately.
No, it's been terrible weather.
We've had a rough
Sad.
couple
Can't be
months.
dodging that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
When is Busk Fest here in Ottawa?
Oh Lord, I don't know.
I don't know. I know.
July, I think.
Yeah, Buster Fest in Kingston, I think, is next month.
Cool.
I think it's the same in July in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Now the one in Kingston, is it down along the waterfront?
I think so. Yeah.
That's a great place. That's a great place to have it. They have a little square there that I think they'd probably do it up in.
Yeah, we haven't been yet, but our trombone player James goes, and he has a great time there.
Nice.
Kingston's just like a mini Ottawa. It's just a beautiful place
I like
along
Kingston.
the water. Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
It is so cool. Yeah, we were just there on Thursday.
Nice. It's a good spot.
Yeah.
So if you were to say what or who inspires you?
What or who? All the reggae artists from Southern Ontario that came before us. I feel if there wasn't a very small bridge between them and us, we wouldn't have continued to do what we're doing. You know, it's a difficult scene to break into, the like Ontario reggae scene. So yeah, if we didn't have a small bridge with our predecessors, we wouldn't have.
Yeah, Street Pharmacy, the Johnstones.
Yeah.
What were some of the
Mean
Chatham?
Tangerine.
Yeah, Mean Tangerine. There were
Soul
some.
the Sound System.
Yeah, Sound System was a Chatham band, right?
Yeah.
They were so good. We still listen to their album today. Yeah, there's just some really good Southern Ontario like ska reggae bands that they set the path for us for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
The scene here in Ottawa, how do you feel about the music scene? Like not just ska and reggae, but like the whole music scene here in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
We got to see it like 2018, 2019 before pandemic hit. We saw how lively it was. I've definitely seen how badly affected the Ottawa music scene was from the pandemic. Like it completely decimated pay for the artists. The venues didn't want to host anybody anymore. We've seen like some crazy places close, like Mavericks and
Cafe de
De
Cuff.
Cuff. You know, like we've seen the damage, but I can feel it's healing. People are wanting more. They're willing to pay, and you know, it's healing slowly. But I'm super excited for what that means in the next few years because already there's some good music coming out, and
Yeah, we also come from a small town, so it's like we upgraded. Like we came to a bigger town where there's more of an audience, and I know that there's, I know a lot of musicians struggle here. I'm not saying it's not a struggle, but we're in a more populated area. We've like done pretty well so far, and using Byward Market, like we live in the market, and so we just walk to Busk, and like we weren't able to do that in our hometown, so that's something like specific to Ottawa. It's in a good place in between Montreal and Toronto. It's like we can travel out if we want to pretty easily. There's a lot of positives, you know, but the struggle's there for sure. Everyone
Mhm.
feels it. Yeah.
Definitely have to build your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even just us speaking to a lot of different artists, as you mentioned, the one thing that came out of the COVID era was everybody was writing a lot at that
Yeah.
time. So a lot of
Yeah.
that music is out now, right? And
Yeah.
and like you said, I think it's going to flourish at some point. Like it's already we're starting to see some great artists get some success all over Canada
Yeah.
and some in the States too. But yeah, but nobody wants to go there anyway. But the I have a whimsy question, and we could do reggae version.
Ooh. Okay. I'm in.
I ask this sometimes. I've started asking this, but so you guys just robbed a bank, okay? And you're running out the door and you're getting in the car. What song's playing as you're driving away?
Oh.
There's John Stone's Bank song.
Oh,
It's
okay.
about robbing a bank.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's a good one.
30
John
heads.
Stones.
30
Like
heads
that.
of them anyway. So I'm going to go John Stone's Bank song.
I'm gonna go. I don't know. Maybe I'll just say War Pigs, but our version. War Pigs, Aurora's Reef version.
Because the brass is
Yeah.
so heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna go with Peter Tosh, Johnny Be Good, like his version.
Oh, okay.
Go, go,
Right.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be driving fast though. That's the
No, that's the thing. Yeah, the thing with reggae is you're not really going quickly. Maybe we should have said
It
stop.
might actually benefit you as if you're robbing.
Yes.
You don't drive away fast.
Because then the cops won't be looking for somebody speeding.
That's right.
But if you did ska, it'd be a lot quicker. I'm going to go with I Shot the Sheriff.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
that's a good one.
Bob Marley version, of course, not the Eric Clapton version.
Both versions great, but that's
That's
yeah,
my pick.
that's good. I like that.
That's a good one.
That was just off the top of my head. What do we got? Sorry, man. I just got to.
Is anybody here today, or are you just kind of chilling?
No, I'm just, I'm at home right now.
Sometimes he spaces out. I was thinking of a song that you guys could learn to play,
Ooh.
maybe because you have a strong female presence in the band, obviously. Bongo Bong by Manu Chao
Okay.
is a song that I think that you guys could perform quite well. I'm just putting that out there. So listen to that song
Okay. Well.
when you're done. Bongo Bong, it's called. It's like a very melodic song, but I think you could reggae, and there's a female verse in it. It would just work well, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll look at
Reggae it up. But
Yeah.
I think you could take pretty much any song and do that.
It's true, but
Awesome.
but personally, because of what I've heard of this, what
Mhm.
you guys have put out, this is where I came.
No, and he played it, and I was like, yeah, that'd be fun to play for sure.
Because you could get the
Might be
percussion
reggae
in there.
music.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still?
I'm struggling, man. Yeah.
Holy jeez, bro.
No, I think I had something and then I lost it. And then
Do you know when your album might be released? Do you have a plan? EP, LP? What's the feel?
CD, cassette.
We have about an album's worth of stuff ready to go. Like skill wise, we just got to lay it down. It's just figuring out the approach for each one, because it feels like we're going to have to go to a different style of studio for every other 4 songs, because some of them have a very old school rootsy reggae style. Some will have like old west mixed with hip hop style, and yeah. So right now I'm hoping we can get all of our recording done by the end of the year, different studios, and release an album with a few singles before that are going to be on the album. So yeah, hopefully singles and an album.
Yeah, we're going to record our first 3 songs in 10 days, I think, on the 19th. So yeah, we're going to start with 3 and get those done and release them. We have some cool music video ideas that we want to do this summer. Full album is such a big project, so we try to focus on the chunks and make our way, as we go and as we have the resources for it.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
good plan.
that's part of it, right? The recording process is so not inexpensive. So
Yeah.
do you have, when you're looking for a producer or somebody to work with you, have you guys done your research?
We've looked around at some of the studios that have been recommended to us. It's mostly been word of mouth lately. And we found a few people that will fit our style and budget, most importantly. But yeah, we've seen some of the major names popping up, and we're just trying to find our fit for the specific songs that we're recording. Like some of them we're gonna have to go more analog style, do a board, all of us recording all at once, with the little finishing touches at the end. While others are gonna have to be done track by track, in different styles depending on what we need.
Yeah, and this is our first time bringing someone else into it to record.
Yeah.
We were in a band together when we were still living in Chatham, and we recorded and released everything ourselves. And you know, it's hard to pick the person that's allowed to kind of have a seat at the table.
Yeah,
You know, it's like you got to really trust them. And we got into contact with someone named Glody, and he seems pretty good. And you know, he's good enough to do his job, and he's happy to have us, like, you know, beside him while he does it, because we really want it to be like heavy on the partnership when it's created.
That's good. That's a good way to look at it, especially for the first album. Because if you get through that, and then you work with a different producer who brings a little bit more to the table and really kind of wants to put you in a different place, you'll be open to it. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do you, when you're touring, do you guys prefer like small, intimate venues, or you like have you done any kind of open air festivals yet?
We did in my village. We did a Labor Day weekend thing that was on a bigger stage and more festival vibes, and I do prefer that vibe. But for like engagement with the crowd, I prefer a more intimate venue.
Yeah, we played the Ontario Moonshine Festival last year. That was pretty fun. In Perth, I think it was.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was an outdoor festival. We wanted to break into more festivals this summer, but I think we just need a song out. I mean, we applied, but we didn't really get much reception. I think we need to, like, you know, validate ourselves with having that song out, and then I think we'll have a different turnout. But I don't know. I don't really have a preference. I mean, last year we kind of we wanted whoever wanted us. You know, it was our first tour, so when the venues would host us, we were like, great, let's go. And every single one was cool, whether they were smaller or bigger. There were parts of it that were really fun.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Going on that, like, so say in 5 years from now, everything goes right. Where's the band?
I would love to tour the States and Mexico. I know Latin America would love to hear our sound, and like already we have a good engagement in Mexico.
Our drummer is from Mexico, so he has some connections for us.
Love to see the States that I haven't seen yet, and take a dip into South America, and yeah.
I want to have like a couple albums out. I want to do a Canada-wide tour for sure. I think just like awareness across Canada would be like a marker of success for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want kind of like Big Rec level or Big Sugar.
Even better.
I just want like more national awareness, I think, and as much music out as we can get, whether that's getting signed or getting connected with the right people that can help make it happen. I don't really have a preference, but just more music, more shows.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Big Sugar has a real good reggae vibe to them.
Oh my God, they so do.
Their bassist is a very recognized reggae bassist. Mm-hmm. They brought him in, and then you have this crazy guitarist, and obviously the harmonica, even the way they play the harmonica almost has a reggae vibe to it too.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Cool. Yeah, it's a good point. And Big Rec is like a super group because they all went to the Boston School of Music or whatever it was. They're Canadian, but
we saw them live, and it was one of the few bands where I could say that they were like pitch perfect to the album. Like it just sounded like the album was being played. And, and these animatronics were doing their thing.
They're so good.
Yeah, so good. Yeah.
that you bring that up. I mean, when you guys go to a show, are you there as like fans of the band, or are you there as like,
We're taking
my-
school.
yeah, you're like you're there taking notes. Oh my god, we could have done that. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I was just at a show last night, and I was at the Bronson Center, and I was talking to my friends, and nobody knew, like, that I spoke to knew who Tyler Brandt and the and his band is, and they don't. I'm like, my God, you're gonna love these guys, and they're young, and they're just like phenomenal, and everybody was like, they were blown away by them. So it's kind of like I'm just sitting there enjoying the music, and I'm just wondering what the musicians that I know are thinking, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of them were going, my God, that kid's only in his 20s. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's those are formidable years, man.
Well, because Tyler Brandt was a prodigy, so maybe he's been around for a little while.
A prodigy.
Prodigy.
That's a good group. So that's a different genre.
Do you believe in the 27 Club?
What's that?
Yeah.
Do you believe in the 27 Club?
Do I believe in it?
Do you believe in it? Like, do you believe in the myth that is the 27 Club?
I think there's a lot of whimsy around it because of some of the greatest artists. Like Jimi Hendrix to me is maybe the best guitarist of all time, and Janis is maybe one of the greatest women that have been in the industry, although there's been many. And then Kurt Cobain was one of the best songwriters, and Jim Morrison was one of the best lead singers. I think that there is something to that. I don't know if I could believe that it's like spiritual or anything like that, but I think
You don't
that
think anybody's at a higher risk of
Someone just turned 27.
Oh, no. You're sticking around. You're not going anywhere.
bro. We need you. Just you're not addicted to heroin or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be okay. But again, I think that there is something to that. But there was also some other things to that where they were pretty big on using drugs and alcohol. So that was a
reefer,
Yeah.
exactly.
Stay with that.
If you stick to the earth, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Although Bob Marley thought that he could cure cancer by smoking weed, so that was and that didn't
work out for him.
Yeah.
No,
could have just got his toe cut off and he would have been fine.
Yeah. Let me throw that back at you. What do you think those individuals we just spoke of? Do you think they would have been bigger than they are now if they'd lived?
No. And I think a great example would be Bradley of Sublime. I also think that they wouldn't have been as big as they were. I think they would have been a one-hit wonder, and we would have all forgotten about them. But because we lost Bradley at the peak of them getting signed to Universal and whatnot, it's the reason we know about them today. And hopefully I don't meet that statistic, but
no. Well, I would disagree a little because I think Jimi Hendrix would have probably brought some crazy stuff over the years. He was just becoming a better guitarist. So but I agree. There's certainly, like, even Nirvana, like, although their music was ahead of their time and they were blowing up big time after Courtney killed him. I mean, that was the thing.
What?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, Elvis, if he'd lived longer, he's a pretty good example.
Well, he
right?
was 40, right? He was 40.
Yeah, he was in his 42, I think.
Burnout versus Fade Away, it's like they have effed it up for the rest of their career and ruined the whole, I don't know.
Yeah, I just think about all the music that we maybe missed out on, and I would rather them be around to make that music, I think the 27 Club adds to the mysticism of it all for sure, but there's still, good music that went unheard, I think.
Yeah,
I like the word mysticism.
Mysticism.
Yeah. It was a lovely.
Marley was alive to get canceled, like that would have ruined the whole thing for all of
That's the thing too, right? Like, it's like all these amazing artists that passed away, and yes, we're probably missing some great songs that could have come out of them, or maybe not.
Or you just enjoy the catalog that they left us.
Exactly.
And that's how it goes,
Yeah.
Like, good people, lots of people die at different ages. So I think that, again, I go back to the fact that they were destructive to themselves, but created great art. That's very much an artist's way in many ways too. So, it's a good question. It's a good, I like the mysticism of it.
Oh,
yeah. I'm going to take that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, he's going to use that forever.
That adjective. Beautiful. What can people expect from a live show?
Well, I already gave away War Pigs. I kind of ruined that.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you don't have to be. It doesn't have to be a song. It could be like the atmosphere, the feel, the you know.
I think most people who listen to reggae aren't expecting the brass thing, especially from a live band. So the brass really changes things. Expect to feel didn't like reggae before, will after.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely like make reggae for everyone. Lots of people from different like genres of preference can enjoy our set. Our trumpet, the guy who played trumpet with us in Kingston on Thursday, he said that like our set was like a journey. We have really upbeat fun songs, and we also have like more intimate ones. I think it's really diverse. There's something for everyone. But you got to be there to find out. You got to come out to the show to really
waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
Now, when you do your set list, a lot of thought goes into what you're starting with, what follows that up, and then et cetera till you're done.
Yeah. Like after the tour last year, we kind of figured out what our set is. We always kind of start with the same song and end with the same song. And we shorten it or lengthen it depending on how long we're playing. We try to play all of our originals every time, and have a good balance of originals and covers. And just learning what people like from busking, we make sure we incorporate the hits into those sets. We try to make sure, there aren't too many things in the same key, one after another, but our set just kind of formed naturally, I guess, after tour and after all those shows. And we just got it to a place where we like.
Yeah, that's great. I think as you evolve, like the covers will kind of become less and less, because you're gonna have more of a catalog to play and evolve as a band. So I think that's great that you like you said, when you're busking, you get the feel of what's working and what's not, and then you can incorporate that somewhere else, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, you're growing. You're just growing as a band, right? So that you're trying to get your tracks and find your way.
Well, I did notice that. Go ahead. Go ahead, Duncan.
Until we get the bat signal to go play some Marley songs.
That's it.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you'll know.
It's funny because like I've gone up. You guys ever go up to songs from the Shed up on Spark Street? They do that every.
Our boss guys have done that. Yeah,
and then what I've noticed when I sit there is that if you're playing something like, say, you guys are playing, and it's you start a Bob Marley tune, and people recognize it. They look, and then they sit, and then it's like people are like they're grooving, and then you say, "Hey, do you want to hear another, or do you want to hear an original?" And 9 times out of 10, they're saying originals. Like from when I've been up there, and it's been amazing. Like these amazing artists are like, great. Oh, they want to hear an original. Cool. But they stop for the stuff that they recognize.
Yeah. We definitely learned that too. Like we know what people are going to respond to if we're like doing our last song of busking for the night, and we do our final tip call. We're probably finishing with Hotel Cali and, doing what people like. But people do respond just as much to the originals, especially Sarsaparilla, which has a super cool, like Western kind of horn line that people really dig. But yeah, it's so nice. You have a good original when people are asking for it. It's the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah. What's the greatest Bob Marley song of all time?
Oh man. Right now, I love Cornerstone. That's like my favorite song right
now. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good choice.
What's your choice, Gus? Now you threw them under the bus.
Lively Up Yourself.
Oh, I'm going to go with Redemption Song.
Yeah.
I like Lively Up Yourself.
Okay, stop.
I love that tune. I'll tell you a story. Can I tell you a story why I like that song?
Yeah.
Okay, so I grew up with one of my best friends. He's a very much of interesting character. So we lived together, and then he bought this like custom Chevy van that had like shag carpet in it, and just shows up with this fucking van. Has like a speaker system on it, like what are they with the mic? They
CB.
Yeah, CB system.
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Thank you. And we were smoking weed and listening to Bob Marley, and then he's like, "I got to play you my favorite song," and it was "Lively Up Yourself," and the timing was just perfect. So we're driving in this fucking van, and we're going to a party, and then we show up in the van, and everybody just like loves the van, of course, because it's like trippy and, very much my friend anyway. We also grew a lot of weed, but we won't get into that. But the thing that was that was awesome was that song as we were driving. And it might have been because I was really baked at the time too, but you pull up to a party and Lively Up Yourself is playing and everybody's outside. It's summertime. You're fucking 18 years old. Everything's going your way. That's why that song stuck with me.
All right.
And I love hearing it. It's a very cool song, very relaxing song,
There's no wrong answers.
No,
Yeah.
Bob brought some magic.
Just now that I've thought about it, Selassie is the chapel. Makes me cry every time. Gets me every time.
Yep.
That's
We could stay here all day and pull out Bob Marley songs.
Yeah.
Seriously, we could.
Yeah. And I found Peter Tosh was more raw. Like he had more of an edge to him. Like
he was a more militant man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like
one of the reasons the Wailers split up. Bunny and Peter were way more militant, and they had completely opposing political sides. And Bob Marley wanted to stay out of it. And,
it makes sense. It makes sense, and that's that's why bands do that sometimes, right?
Yeah, some for militant reasons.
Yeah, well, militant I wouldn't go with, but yeah, just like different views and really wanting to push that because they had a passion for the right thing to do, and then they wanted to pursue it. Whereas Bob was like all about peace and love, and he just wanted
peace, love, and unity.
Yeah, because there's at a certain point you gotta wonder. It's like everybody else using guns, and peace and love's not working. It's like that's what split them up. It was Marley wanted to keep going with the music will get us there, and yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, like and I don't think it has. Unfortunately, even though it should, because it's almost worse than it was in the 80s, but or even 70s. Anyway.
Yeah, but he stayed the course, man. Like he stayed true to him, right?
Well,
that's why we love Bob.
Yeah,
and Peter for his, he was an immensely talented individual, and Bunny as well.
Bob liked to have kids too. He's got a few.
Sure did.
Yeah, he's got a few kids. I saw Ziggy. I think Ziggy played football here.
Yeah,
but
yes, he did.
Yeah, and I don't know which one married Lauren Hill, but I think maybe Ziggy actually.
Well, there was Stephen Marley too, and he's a singer as well.
Yeah, there's so many good Marleys, but like just that family, like Lauren Hill and Marley have kids, and those kids are going to be. Oh, my mom's, Lauren Hill. My grandfather is Bob Marley. It's
yeah, okay, there might be a little talent
we're
here.
We're going to have something come out of that, right?
Yeah.
Well, even that album that you sent me, the tribute to
Neil
Young, Stephen Marley does a song.
Yeah.
And it's oh my God, does he sound like his dad?
Really?
It was so cool.
Yeah, I saw the Wailers when they were here too, and they were excellent. They were
wow.
It was just a great vibe because summer night at Blues Fest, and you got like a little Marley action going. It's just so much more peaceful.
Yeah.
Just gives you that vibe.
Yeah.
Yep. Is there any if you could tour or jam with anybody? I think I just opened this up. I think I already know the answer. Who would it be? Anybody, live, dead?
Just for current desire, I would love to tour with Ocean Alley. They're
They're
Are they Aussie band?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love them. Love their sound. I just think that our sounds would complement each other. I think that would be like the match made in heaven.
Very good.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm thinking it's one word and it's two, and I'm just like
Ocean Alley.
Ocean Alley.
Yeah.
I might say Ocean Alley too. I think that would be really cool. They're great.
I like that song Tangerine. I just pulled it up right now. Tangerine by them.
It took me a little while to get around to that one, but I'm on the Tangerine boat now.
Yeah.
Tangerine Dreams.
It's their big hit, right? So yeah.
Tangerine Dreams and Marshmallow Skies.
That's a different song.
I know.
Where are you coming from with that?
I don't know. It just kind of came into my head, like some things do.
It tripped me out.
There was a little Beatles there.
It's true.
Yeah.
We ask the same question to every person that we interview or people that we interview. There's 2 decades of music that we discuss. There's the 80s and the 90s catalog of either. Which would you prefer?
90s for me, for sure.
And just for my distaste for the 90s, I'll say 80s.
All right, I'll take it.
It's a split decision.
I'll take it when they say 80s. I don't care why.
Why?
It doesn't matter to me.
Why dislike? '90s.
I just find like the '90s was a uncomfortable transition period for most of the genres I enjoyed, and I'm not a grunge guy. I'm not a like all the tasty hits that happened in the '90s were not reggae hits. Like there was a couple. Like I'll admit there's a couple that stuck.
Mr.
but,
Boombastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Point taken.
Yeah.
It's like dance hall or something.
Yeah, it's dance hall for sure.
But no, the '90s was like a gentrifying time for reggae, and
Walk like a
that
champion.
was more of
Champion.
a odd time.
It was an odd time. Well, I'm a '90s guy, but the hip hop was amazing in the '90s, so that was why I was always there.
I appreciate hip hop, but it's it's not on my top 5. So
Ooh.
It's not even in your top 5. I'd love to hear your top 5.
That's
take some inspiration from hip hop.
Yeah,
It's like some Cypress Hill, some Beastie Boys, some Swollen Members, and then I'm done.
Swollen Members. Wow, good Canadian group. Yeah, they were good.
it's always. I'd like to
They're
ask. That.
2000s though.
Yes,
but,
I know. Yeah. I like to ask that question too. Is there like every once in a while we throw it in there just to see what they'll say? Is there a genre of music you just don't get? Like I don't understand why people like it. I don't get it.
Like country and disco, kinda. But country I get a little bit more than disco. Disco kind of is just like, what? You guys do this for how long?
Yeah, you'll definitely never catch me listening to a country song, but like to each their own, I wouldn't say throw away the whole genre, but you won't catch me listening.
Yeah.
I have a theory about disco.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Okay.
Very-
It's a hell of
You had to use cocaine to enjoy it.
Well, I think they were all on it when they were making it because they're
No
like
way.
11-minute songs and they were just like taking rips the whole time.
There's no
Anyways,
way.
we're not going to get into all that. But that's where my mind goes when I hear disco.
I lived through it. You guys didn't.
No.
I lived through it. I hated it. I've gained an appreciation for it now, for playing it. Like when I do the funk and disco shows and stuff, that's a lot of fun.
Everyone loves using a wah pedal.
Yeah, exactly. There's a little bit of
Maybe.
every genre has something to give. Just some have less than others.
That's a very nice hint. Yeah. That's a nice political,
Thank you.
correct way of
Yeah, you're welcome.
doing things, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I like that.
Well, it's
Just
Bonium, that's about it.
oh, they're great. Sorry, not sorry. That's like when I started collecting albums, my uncle
cocaine.
brought me Boney M's Oceans of Fantasy and Night Flight to Venus. Those are like two of the first albums I ever got.
Oh, and then they would have because you have a lot of albums. So that
Yeah.
would be,
So, I mean, that's got a place in my heart. Boney M was always great.
is that like Daddy Cool and stuff?
Daddy Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good tune. And there's Rasputin.
Oh yeah,
Brown
totally.
Girl
He was
in the
so
Rain.
jacked, but he was so jacked on cocaine. Like in every video, there's like him and like 4 women.
He wasn't.
and he was just like fucking bouncing all over the place.
He did. Anyway. You don't know. Maybe he was just a excitable guy.
Perhaps cocaine.
All right. Eric
The
Clapton.
last time I'm saying it, but you know what I'm saying.
Eric
Anyways,
Clapton.
yeah. So you got a live show coming up this week, and then in Ottawa at the
27th
27th June.
27th. Yeah,
Very nice.
at Irene's.
This will be out in 2 weeks, so
it'll be up right before the show?
25th, and then your show's on the Wednesday,
Oh,
right?
perfect. That's
Yeah.
It'll be on
awesome.
the Friday.
Cool.
So 27th.
Yep.
Today's the 9th.
Yep. It's the Friday because the 28th is
You're right. 23rd.
27th because the 28th is the shit. Yeah.
bad.
Anyway, I'm going to try and make it out because that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should, bro.
Please do come out, guys. You're guest listed officially.
Whoa. See, this is the perk to the gig we got. you
Yeah,
know?
of course.
We get to listen to amazing music. Plus,
Yeah.
reggae is such a phenomenal vibe. So it's
always
it's
fun.
always nice to hear from a couple reggae artists like yourselves, and we appreciate your time. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, we look forward
It
to
was-
seeing you grow to the max. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just hang out with us just for a minute, and but thank you again for coming out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Don't go because we want to make sure.
Dawg and Gus, Dawg and Gus, Dawg and Gus.